Hello house lovers, isn't it brisk? Aren't we a pair? A chilly morning here in Melbourne, so let's go inside. And a quick detour in the hall. As you can see, I'm still attaching some little spot patches, feeling like an 18th century courtesan applying her patches to her shabby facade. I've done that, all of which I'm going to strip off this morning because I love cheap home asset peels. But we're not here to talk about my homemade beauty regime. Oh no, dear viewers, we are here to talk about sag and sway. And that is not referring to my perhaps less than perky 52-year-old bosom. Oh no, dear viewers. Sag and sway is a whole new concept that I have come to understand in the unfolding saga of the renovation of Bonaccord House. Now, dear viewer, this is the view out of the back of our house. You see this lamppost here, and can you see this black cable that runs along here? Disappears into the laneway out the back where it provides power for a street lamp. Let me tell you the story of that power cable. A field trip to the Chappell Corby Memorial Courtyard to give you more of an idea. Now, here we are, and there, ladies and gentlemen, is the offending cable running across the back of our property into a laneway behind there where there is a street lamp. There you can see the cable, and you can see how close it is to the roofline of the Chappell Corby Memorial Suite. And thus, house lovers, therein lies the problem. George's room with the fabulous view at the back. Here we are. You buy your house and you discover a few things. One of the first things we discovered was that in fact part of the house we bought wasn't ours. It was on the title next door. That involves process for us to rectify, which we did. The next issue is that our kitchen is going out here, and that power cord that runs to a street lamp in the laneway out the back brushes perilously close to the air above our property where the new kitchen is going to sit. Problem. Obviously, there are all sorts of regulations about how close a power line can be to the house and blah, 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 which brings us to the concept of sag and sway. Power lines react to the amount of heat and cold that is going on, so they can tense and get tighter and higher, and they can loosen and get lower and then more swingy. So depending on how much wind there is and how tight they are, depends upon the amount of space they need safely around them. What we had to do is then supply our plans to the power company to see how they can rectify this power line that hangs too close to the perimeter of our property and allow us to build our kitchen and not be electrocuted to death. Turns out in Melbourne, dear viewers, there is a monopoly on electrical infrastructure. So there is only one company for us to deal with, and they hold you over a barrel. Anyway, this morning we got our sag and sway report, and they can solve the problem for the low cost of about $12,000 all up. There's nothing we can do about that. So there was $8,000 for the report to say, we can move the power line, and then another who knows how many thousands to put an extender pole on the lamppost and an extender pole on the light to push the cord a few meters that way and allow the swing and the sag and the sway to still happen naturally. House lovers, who would have thought? And it's taken us quite a long time to get this far. Anyway, so this morning we had a win with our sag and sway, which I love as a phrase. That could be my new drag name. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sag and Sway. It's resolved. But just one of the other things you have to ponder when you are renovating, building, buying a house. Firstly, is everything on your title? And secondly, what is the power line situation should you wish to extend or renovate or do something that might change the perimeter of your building somewhat? Bit of a saga, but anyway, it is done. Now, the good news as well is that one of the good doctor's nieces is an electrical engineer. Lucky to have talent in the family. So thank you, Kiyomi, for your input. Watch this space, kids, as we deal with our sag and sway. Mandatory mask time, and let's go and have a little field trip and look at this offending street lamp and the power line that supplies it. This is around our neighbour's house, which was the pub that was once attached to our house. And here we are, here's the back laneway. Let's follow the cable, and ta-da, there is the street lamp. I could say the offending street lamp, but it's not that offensive. Let's take a turn about the estate. There we are, house lovers. I'm juggling power cords, because that is my new task in life. Who knew that these were such issues you had to think about? Anyway, it just goes to show that when you embark on a renovation, restoration, or building project, there are all sorts of unknown angles and issues that you're going to have to deal with. Anyway, we have dealt with it, which is good, but a bit of a slug from our contingency budget, which is what a contingency budget is for, but not something that we're really expecting to have to pay that much money for because of the monopoly of the power system in Australia. Anyway, I'm not going to have a political discourse about power supply to the people, but never mind. It's taken us, I don't know, quite a few months to get to this point where the power company has said, yes, we can resolve the problem, and here's the bill. So planning, planning, planning. There we are, house lovers. My rant is over. There's my fabulous mantelpiece. Perhaps when lockdown is over in sunny Melbourne, we can get Kiyomi, the good doctor's electrical engineer niece, down to have a look at our plans, because she is going to be helping us with our electrical plan. And maybe we should talk about electrical planning 101. How many PowerPoints do you really need? The answer is lots. Anyway, we'll see what Kiyomi has to say. So I'll see when she's going to be available and if she's willing to come and have a chat to us about power planning. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. It is still stage 4 in Melbourne, which means you can't do nothing. Going slightly stir crazy, but here I am able to strip walls and fiddle with sag and swaying power lines to give myself something to live for. Take care of yourselves wherever you are. I hope all is well, and I look forward to bringing you another fabulous installment of Bon Accord, the restoration journey, next week. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking. Leave a message if there's anything you want to know, such as how do you find an extra $12,000 for your budget to get a power line moved, and I'll see what I can do. Until next week, house lovers.